The PC Engine is one of the smallest and most attractive consoles ever made. The American TurboGrafx, on the other hand, is, well, let's just say the exterior design isn't my favorite and leave it at that. The HuCard media that both use is pretty slick, but to get the complete PC Engine experience, you need access to the CD library. Because of this, the all-in-one functionality of the DUO console variants seem like the go-to in the PCE scene, but for my money, the interface unit is by far the coolest option. Lovingly called the briefcase, the interface unit links together one standard PC Engine with a separate CD-ROM unit. Composite video and stereo output are accessed from the side, a slight upgrade from the RF connection that would normally be used with a standalone console. As you may know, in addition to data transmission, the large multi-pin array on the rear of a PC Engine or TurboGrafx system does carry RGB video from the console, but NEC never created an official way to utilize the signal. Modern products like the engine block can turn this into excellent RGB output, but prevent you from using a CD unit. The Super SD System 3 also connects to this port, which allows for the loading of HuCard and CD-ROM game data alike alongside RGB video output. But what if you want to use a real CD add-on with RGB video? This was my goal, so when I decided I wanted to get into PC Engine hardware, I found a really good deal on a complete interface unit and asked our buddy Voultar if he could help me with the region mod and RGB mod. While you should be really careful about buying pre-modded systems on eBay, PC Engine modding is fairly mature by this point, so I didn't think I was asking for anything crazy. To get RGB video when using this configuration, you mod only the interface unit, not the console itself. But it's actually a pretty unusual thing to do. Due to the tightly packed components and overall design, getting noise-free RGB video from an interface unit is, as it turns out, pretty darn difficult, and Voultar is a real champion for putting up with my naive request. Now, I totally trust Voultar's standards and the quality of his work, but he was honest with me and said that there will be noise in this mod. That's just the nature of the interface unit. He wasn't wrong. The noise was more visible in certain colors than others, and in particular situations I could see really obvious diagonal lines, a power ripple effect as Voultar calls it. The good news is that these issues were practically invisible in a pure analog environment, even on a high quality PVM. But seeing as I like to use the OSSC and Framemeister for recording, streaming, and playing on my main TV, I'd be lying if I didn't say I was a bit disappointed. In very textured games like Legendary Axe, it didn't bother me much, but at other times a cloud of regret hung over my head that my favorite style of PC Engine just wasn't a good fit for RGB mods. Luckily for me and other fans of the briefcase, Voultar wasn't happy with this situation either. To back up just a bit, my first interface unit mod used Voultar's own DUO-RGB board, which is designed primarily for the American Turbo Duo and all variants of the PC Engine Duo, as demonstrated here by Coury's DUO-R. It can also be used with Core Graphics, SuperGrafx, and all of the other members of the PC Engine family, although it's more difficult to use in the base PC Engine and TurboGrafx due to a stereo sound mod also being needed. But the only version that's just outright not suited for it is the interface unit. Enter Voultar's newly created IFU-RGB board. This is specifically designed to address the idiosyncrasies of driving RGB video through an interface unit, and while I can't claim to know the specifics of what makes it work its magic, other than, wow, what a difference! No more power ripple, and whatever visible noise remains is just the regular expected analog noise that I can't see from a normal viewing distance. It really is crystal clear, and I couldn't be happier to be able to say that my beloved briefcase is now, for all intents and purposes, equally as good of an RGB choice as the Duos, the Engine Block, and others.
We happy? Yeah, we happy.
Do note that jail bars are an inherent issue to PC engines, mostly only visible in large swaths of the same color when converting analog to digital. This is unrelated to whatever RGB mod or mod-free RGB method that you use and requires a separate fix. Check this page on Tim Worthington's site for information and solutions. Maybe something for me to look into another time. As of right now, when I'm making this video, Voultar only has DUO-RGB kits available on his shop, not the IFU-RGB kits. My system was, I guess, kind of the last test he needed to confirm that the design was indeed finalized, but he tells me that he expects IFU-RGB kits to be available soon this spring, that they are meant to be easy to install for those with basic soldering skills. But for me, my only problem now is that this little stand is already overflowing with more hue cards than I ever expected to fill it with.